Thanks for joining us here at Functional Bliss, where Audra and Jessica will guide you through exercises and wellness techniques to help you live your best life every day. It's in the name, after all, Functional Bliss. Before you do anything else, click like and subscribe and ring the bell so you'll know whenever we put up a new video. To join our Blissful Gang for live Zoom classes where you can get more direct suggestions and encouragement, go to our website and sign up. Check the class description below for any equipment needs, grab your gear, and let's get started.
Okay, so we are going to start in a seated position today. So take your time, find your way to your chair, scoot your butt way back. And then once you've got your butt way back and the back of your chair is connected to you, take a moment to just close your eyes. Let your body and your mind quiet down just a little bit. Breathe in and out through your nose best you can, taking just a little bit of time here to let your physical body soften into your chair. Notice if there's any points of your body that are taking just a little bit longer to get there, finding that softness, finding that deeper sense of stillness. And then once you've found that deeper sense of stillness, or a stillness that makes sense to you, take a moment to just feel the ground underneath your feet. Feel the solidness of the chair underneath your seat. Feel the solidness of the back of the chair connecting to the back of your body, and then variations may apply. So your chair might feel slightly different from mine. You might have a cushiony seat. You may have arms in your chair. So any ways that you can feel and notice the support system underneath you, take a moment to notice. And that being said, if you do have arms to your chair, you're going to have to get creative with your navigation of your chair today, as we are going to be moving into a side seated position. So if you're working in a chair with arms, see if there's any other chairs around, or just get really deeply creative with the way that you move through your process. All right, so once you've noticed the solid foundation underneath you, underneath your feet, underneath your butt, through the back of your body, now just take a generous breath in through your nose. Fill your lungs and your rib cage up. Exhale nice and slow. We're going to do that again. Inhale through your nose, fill your rib cage up, but now notice the back of the chair connected to the back of your body, and imagine that you're breathing into the back of the chair. And then exhale nice and slow. We're going to do 2 more cycles of breath just like that. Inhaling through the nose, fill the rib cage up, feel the back of the chair connected to the back of your body. And then we're going to come back to those deep breaths, but just for a moment, maybe let your breath return to a slightly natural rhythm. Pause for a moment, twinkle your fingers, wiggle your toes, make sure everything feels like things are coming to life. Your body is ready, your mind is ready, you're going to do some work, and you know that the work is going to happen. And then once you've sort of kind of woken some things up, now we're going to add a little retention of the breath. So before we go there, take a moment here to just place one hand on the belly, one hand on your heart space, eyes closed or a soft gaze, totally up to you. But we're just going to take a moment here to take a breath and breathe in an intention. Set an intention here to honor your mind and your body throughout your practice. Never doing anything that would cause your body pain, and treating yourself with love, care, and respect. With that intention set, keeping your hands just as they are if it feels comfortable and you can still sit comfortably and supported. Back is still leaning against the back of the chair. Now we're going to come back to the breath. Inhalation, nice big expansive inhalation into the lungs and the rib cage, but then you're going to hold and retain the breath for a moment. Not so long that you gasp for air on the release, but just a moment to retain the breath. Notice that retention of breath, and then you'll exhale nice and slow. So close your eyes or soften your gaze. Inhale through your nose. Fill your rib cage up. At the end of your inhalation, hold or retain the breath for a moment. And then when you feel ready, exhale nice and slow. Inhaling through your nose, fill your rib cage up, hold the breath at the top. And then when you feel called to do so, exhale nice and slow. Go for about 2 or 3 more cycles of breath, just depending on the pace that you're working with this morning. One last cycle of breath here, holding the inhalation at the top. Exhaling nice and slow. And then release your arms and just let your arms fall away softly at the side of the body. And we're just going to wiggle the fingers and roll the fingers in and out. So you're just going to do a nice little semi-organic movement, like you're just trying to roll the fingers in, just gently moving the fingers, moving the phalanges, moving your palms, noticing just that outer edge of your extremity. Maybe notice the skin on your hands and your palms. Do your hands feel warm or cool? Do your fingers feel stiff or supple? There's no right or wrong, but just kind of notice, how do your hands feel? And then take that movement into the wrist. And as you start to move your wrist, start to lift your back up away from your seat, sitting up just a little bit taller. And now we're twinkling the fingers, we're moving the wrist. And then if you can, reverse directions, move your wrist the other way. And then start to walk your butt forward in your chair, just so that you're coming a little bit more to the center of your seat. Reposition your feet so they're nice and solid on the ground, finding that nice tall seated position now. And now hands are going to find the tops of the thighs or tops of the knees, and we're going to move it right into a seated cat-cow. As you inhale, lift your heart, lift your chin. And as you exhale, round your back, round your shoulders, tuck your chin towards your chest or look towards your belly button. Inhale, lift your heart, lift your gaze, lift your chin. Exhale, round your back, round your shoulders, look towards your belly button. Inhale to lift. Exhale to round. Inhale to lift, and then hold just for a moment. Hold and retain that inhalation. Hold that sense of opening through the heart space and that little bit of work that's happening through the back of your body. And then when you're ready, release. Exhale, round through the back of the body, round through the shoulders. Stay there for just one extra moment, not retaining the breath, but just holding that space through the back of the body. And when you're ready, inhale, lifting up, opening through the chest, lifting the chin. Maybe hold your inhalation just for a moment at the top. And then when you're ready, exhale, round through the back of the body. We're going to do that one more time, that little hold of inhalation at the top. So inhale, lift your chest, hold the inhalation just for a moment. And then when you're ready, exhale, round through the back of the body. Now we're going to come back up to a more tall neutral spine. Hands are going to find the hip points, and you're going to take it right into a pelvic tilt. So you're just going to try to move the pelvis, tipping the tailbone under and then tipping the tailbone back. Most of this work is coming from the bottom half of the body. You might feel your core muscles trying to help. You might feel your leg muscles trying to help. Let those muscles help in any way that they can. Lovely. Take one more tilt of the pelvis, and then we're going to move it right into some dynamic side bend. So one hand is going to find the side of the chair, and then we're just going to float from side to side. And no need to even go full range of motion. Go for dynamic. Go for a little bit loose and soft. So let your arm, let your shoulder be loose and soft. Let the side of your body be a little bit stressed, but a little bit loose. So you're not going for that full range of motion. Just waking up the side of the body, waking up the spinal column, moving it from side to side. Beautiful. Now, the next time your left hand touches down and your right hand reaches up, stay there. And now find a little bit of intention. Anchor down into your sitting bones, reach up through that top hand, find a little bit more space through the side of the body. Maybe pull that top thumb back, gaze up towards the ceiling, take one good breath. And then as you exhale, round and reach, big round and reach. And then we're going to pull it back with the inhalation. Pull it back. Turn your head, look up towards the sky. And then as you exhale, do that big round and reach across the room. Inhale, pull it back, turn your head, look up towards the sky, and then we're going to lift and take it right up and over to the other side, finding our side bend. Get your hand hold so you feel secure, anchor down into the sitting bones, reach up through that top hand, find that extra bit of space through the body, pull the top thumb back, gaze up towards the ceiling, and then when you're ready, exhale, round and reach, like you're reaching for something across the room, and then pull that thumb back, open up, turn your head, look up towards the sky, round and reach, bring it back up, One more time, round and reach. Bring it back up, and then we're going to bring both hands behind us so we find the back of the chair. Low side, middle side, totally up to you. We just want a nice opening through the heart space. So find your handhold, open through the chest, lift your chin just enough so you feel maybe a little sensation through the front of the neck and the throat, and then take a nice big generous breath. Exhale nice and slow. 2 more cycles of breath if you can, just finding that nice opening space through the front of your heart. One more inhalation. And then as you exhale, release your handhold, and we're going to just take it into a gentle fold. So fold yourself forward. Go just to the depth that feels good right now. And we haven't warmed up the low back too much, and you may feel a little compression in the belly. So go only where it feels best to you. Pause there for a moment. Now notice, how does your low back feel? How does the back of your neck feel? How does your belly feel connected to your thighs? Take a breath. And then when you're ready, slowly, slowly and mindfully walk yourself back up to that upright position, and then find your seated mountain pose. Feet nice and solid on the ground, hands down at your sides with a little life and energy down into your hands. Right hand is going to lift up. So you're just going to inhale, lift the right hand up, and then exhale, bring the right hand back down. And now we're going to take it to the left. Inhale, lift your left hand up. Exhale and bring it down. And now we're going to go both hands together. Inhale, lifting both arms up. Exhale, both hands down. Beautiful. Inhale, both hands up. And now we're going to move right into our sun salutation with a little bit of a nice quick pace. So inhale, arms up, exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Inhale, right hand reaches towards the left shin. Exhale, left hand reaches up for a twist. Bring that hand right back down. Find your shin. Draw your shin up to your chest, knee to the nose to the knee, round through the back of the body, and then release. Both feet on the ground, hands down at your sides. Nice. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Inhale, left hand finds the right shin, right hand lifts up for a twist, and then release that hand down. Slide up the shin, bring your knee to your chest, bring your nose to your knee. And release right back to mountain pose. And we're going to go right through that again. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Right hand over to the left shin. Left hand reaches for a twist. And then right away, release that hand down. Slide up the shin. Bring your knee to your chest. Bring your nose to your knee. Release both feet on the ground. Hands down at your sides. Beautiful. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Left hand over to the right shin. Right hand reaches up for a twist. And then release it down right away. Slide up the shin. Bring your knee to your chest. Bring your nose to your knee. Release back to mountain pose. We're going to go one more time through. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Right hand over to the left shin. Left hand reaches for a twist. Find the edge of that twist. Maybe pause there just for one extra moment. And then when you're ready, release nice and slow. Hand finds the shin. Slide up that shin. Bring your knee to your chest. Bring your nose to your knee. Maybe stay here for just one extra moment. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, release it down. Come through mountain pose. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Left hand over to the right shin. Right hand reaches up for a twist. Maybe pause just for an extra moment there. And then when you're ready, release that hand down. Slide up the shin. Bring your knee to your chest. Bring your nose to your knee. Maybe stay here for just one extra moment. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, slowly release. And now we're going to take it into a side seated position. So you're going to step your feet to one side. Once you've got your side seated position, you're going to rotate towards the back of the chair. So both hands are going to find the back of the chair. We're going to think about getting nice and tall. We're going to go for a twist with about 3 cycles of breath. So you'll inhale, get tall. Exhale, go a little deeper into your twist. Inhale, get tall, loosen the twist up just a little bit. Exhale, go a little deeper into your twist. Inhale, get tall, loosen up. Exhale, twist, hold just for an extra moment, and then release nice and slow. And now we're going to do a nice little cool pivot maneuver. So your hands are going to spin around, find the chair, pivot your butt around. And then once you've found your tabletop position, 3 cat-cows here. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your chest, lift your tail. Exhale to round your back. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your chest, lift your tail. Exhale, round your back. One more just like that. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your chest, lift your tail. Exhale, round your back, and then we're going to find a neutral spine as we walk ourselves back to a downward facing dog shape. So hands to the chair, walk your butt back, find that nice little V shape. So your butt is the point of your V. Once you found that little V shape, now we're going to pedal out the legs. So we're going to pick up one heel, press into the opposite heel. Notice your toes, notice your feet, notice your ankles, notice the backs of your body. You may even notice the upper body, the shoulders, your arms, your armpit, chest area. Take one or two more pedals of the feet, and then we're going to go double heel lift. So both heels on the ground. Make sure you feel secure with your handhold on the chair, and then lift both heels up away from the ground, and then we're going to float them down nice and slow and controlled. Lift both heels up away from the ground. Float both heels down nice and slow and controlled. Do that one more time. Lift both heels up. Float both heels down. And now we're going to walk ourselves forward just slightly, but then step our feet out nice and wide. So I'm going to go for my feet about to the outer edges of my mat, just for the safety and security of my feet underneath me, that you can step as wide as you like. Once you've got that wide position, we're going to go for a semi-flat back shape. Once you've found it, now we're going to alternate with some twists. So one hand is going to step in, so it's underneath your nose, and you're going to lift the other hand up, lift up towards the sky, release, and we're going to switch right over to the other side. Hand comes underneath your nose. Exhale, we reach up and twist, and now you're going to go for a slightly dynamic pace. One hand down, one hand up. Let your hips move with you a little bit. Let your knees move with you just a little bit, not too much. You want to feel like your legs are solid, and most of the rotational work is coming from the thoracic spine or from your mid-back area. But the hips kind of want to move with sometimes in this wide leg folded position. So take one or two more times each side, just finding that good dynamic pace. Beautiful. And then both hands on the chair, pause just for a moment, notice. And now we're going to step our way back to the seat. So pivot your hands, pivot your butt, come back to a seated position. And then we're going to do 3 scooping cobras. So make sure you're just seated in a nice way. Hands, elbows, and forearms to the chair. We're going to tuck the chin down like a little wave through the spine. You're going to pull the heart forward, arch up, and then get an opening. Pause at that place where you feel the most opening through the heart space, and then round and release it back. Tuck your chin down. Wave through the spine, curl your way up, open through the heart space, find that point where it's the most open, pause. And then one last time, rounding down, tuck the chin, scooping the heart forward, find that open space through the heart. And then lift yourself back up. And now we're going to move into a warrior 2. So for some of us, warrior 2 feels good at the center of the chair, and you'll reposition yourself so that the main part of your thigh is supported on the seat. For some of us, it might feel a little bit better to be at an angled position so that the chair feels good, but there's no corners or edges digging into your flesh. So make sure you position yourself in a way that makes good sense, finding your warrior 2. So bent knee, foot solid on the ground, hips angled out to the side, rib cage fairly in line with the hips, arms extended out from the shoulders, and then we're going to gaze past that front hand. So for me, that's my right hand looking forward. Take a breath. Beautiful. Now we're going to go 3 times through, and then we'll find our way back to center. So peaceful warrior, drop the back hand, reach the front hand up, and then a nice dynamic pace right into side angle, elbow to the knee, top hand reaches up, and then lift right back into your peaceful warrior. Back hand touches down, front hand reaches up. We're increasing the circulation through the body, so we're going at a nice dynamic pace. Take it into your side angle. Lift your way back up. One last peaceful warrior here. Take it to your side angle. Pause just for a moment. Make sure that back leg feels slightly free. And then we're just going to slide that foot in as we pivot ourselves around. Come through center. Give yourself a moment. Shimmy out your shoulders. Make sure everything feels good. And then we're going to take a gentle fold here. So think belly compression on the thighs. Legs as close together as feels right to you. Find that fold. Feel that little compression through the front of your body. Take a nice big expansive breath like you're trying to breathe into the back of your body. Beautiful. And then come up nice and slow and controlled. Take your time. And now we're going to step our feet to the other side. So step so that you're in that side seated position. Rotate towards the back of the chair. And then we're going to go for those 3 twists again. So you're going to inhale, get tall. Exhale, deepen into your twist. Inhale, loosen up, get tall. Exhale, deepen into your twist. Inhale, loosen up, get tall. Exhale, deepen into your twist. Pause there for a moment. And then unwind your twisted position all the way around. So we do this fun little pivot maneuver where your hands find the chair. Walk yourself into that tabletop position, 3 cat-cows. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your chest, lift your tail. Exhale, round your back. Inhale, drop your belly. Exhale, round your back. Inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, round your back. Find a neutral spine. Walk your way back to your downward facing dog shape. Once you've found that downward facing dog shape, take it back into those foot pedals. So we're just going to pick up one heel and then the other one's pressing down. So we're going to alternate between the two. Find a good pace that makes good sense to you. You still want to make sure that you feel secure touching the chair, feet are solid on the ground. All right, one more pedal of each leg. And then when you're ready, walk yourself forward just a little bit, step your feet back to that wide configuration, maybe slightly wider if that feels good this time. And then we're going to take it into those dynamic twists. So you're just going to reach one hand up and then the other. And then once you found a little bit of a dynamic pace here, or you found a good sense of movement that feels right to you, if it feels available, you might opt to take your fingers down to the ground, or somewhere in the middle. I have a little bar on my chair that I can reach. So maybe there's some space in the middle, or maybe you stay with the hands connected to the chair. Totally up to you, but find a good dynamic pace and a little bit of twisting action. Take 1 or 2 more times through each side. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, hands are going to find the chair no matter where you are. Slowly walk your feet back in, and then we're going to sit our butt back onto our chair. So come back to that seated position and then back to those scooping cobras. So elbows and forearms to the thighs, tuck your chin down, scoop the spine forward, open up through the chest and the front of the throat, and then round it back. Pull the ribs back, tuck the chin down, scoop your heart forward. One last time, rounding back, scooping through. And then when you're ready, lift up and release. And now we're going to take our warrior 2 to the other side. So that might mean stepping the leg out and scooching so that the chair is underneath the thigh with a big amount of support, or angling yourself out so that the corners or edges of your chair feel comfortable underneath you. So position yourself in a way that makes good sense to you and the chair that you're navigating. Once you've found your way there, take a moment to just find that nice alignment. Ribs in line with the hips, feet nice and solid on the ground, arms extended out. Look past your left middle finger and take a nice big breath. Beautiful. Now we're going to take it into peaceful warrior and side angle. So that back hand is going to touch down, front hand is going to reach up. And then at a slightly dynamic pace, elbow to the knee, lifting the top hand up. Float right back up with strength through the side body. Back hand touches down, front hand reaches up. Elbow to the knee, top hand reaches alongside your ear. Beautiful. One more time, back into that peaceful warrior. Come back through that side angle. Pause there just for an extra second. And then that top hand is going to reach down, grab the back of the thigh, help that leg come in, step everything back to center. And then once you're in your center, take it to some windshield wipers. So just swish your knees a little bit side to side. Find just a little bit of wiggle room in the hips, a little bit of pivoty movement in your knees and your ankles. And then once you've windshield wipers just enough, step your feet back in, and we're going to go back to that forward fold with the legs in that closer position. So it will create a little bit of compression in the belly. So go hip hinge, lean your heart forward, let your hands rest wherever feels the most comfortable. We do want that little bit of sense of compression in the abdomen, but you want to make sure that you're still able to breathe. So find that little bit of compression, and then imagine you're breathing into the back of your body. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, slowly and mindfully walk yourself back up out of that fold. And we're going to take it into some marches. So you're going to start with just a light little marching pattern, finding a little lift of the knee, setting it back down. But then we're going to add on to that. So once you've got that marching pattern going on, now your hands are going to create a little bit of resistance. So as you lift your knee up, your hand is going to resist, like you're pushing your knee into your hand, hands creating a little bit of tension. So we're getting the quadricep muscles and the hip flexor muscles to work a little bit harder to find this lift. And then keep that resistance going and see if you can pick up the pace just a little bit, bringing a little bit more heat, a little bit more muscle action, just a little bit more stimulation, working the arms, working the legs. Go for about 2 more times each side with that little extra bit of tension. Nice. And then once you've done about 2 more each side, now we're just going to pick up one leg and then we're going to keep the leg in a stable position. Your hands are going to try to push that leg from side to side. So the leg is elevated, floating off the ground. Hands are going to try to push that leg out from side to side, but the leg is going to resist. Take one more time each side and then set that foot down. And we're switching right over to the other side. So the leg's going to stay in that lifted position as stable and strong as it can. Your arms or your hands are going to try to push that leg from side to side, but it's not moving because your leg is super strong. Take one more push each side. And then when you're ready, we're going to compact that first leg, pick the leg up, grab the back of the thigh, grab the heel, take the leg in and out just a little bit. Nice. One more little in and out. And then if it's available, you'll take it into a figure 4 across the thigh. If that doesn't feel good, you'll go across the ankle or set a block in front of you. So find a good opening in that figure 4 position that feels good. But now we're going to rotate. So you're going to twist towards that knee, finding a good rotation. Take a breath. Now we're going to twist to the other side. So your hand's going to find your bottom of your foot. Use your foot for a little bit of leverage. Rotate to the other side. Come back through center and take one quick little hip hinge forward fold. So you don't need to go all the way to your edge. Go just to a place where it feels interesting. And once you've found that place, pause for a moment, take a breath. As we lift up, we're going to lift the leg with us. So lift your heart, grab the leg, lift it up, and now you're going to push your leg into your hand, and your hand's going to resist. So you're going to try to push that leg down towards the ground, but your hand's not going to let it. And then you're going to hold that resistance, hold that tension, hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Gently, softly, mindfully release that foot down to the ground. And now we're going to take it to the other side. So we're going to grab the knee, grab the heel, take the leg a little bit in and out. One leg might behave completely differently from the other. So you always want to make sure you honor the side that you're working on. Only go to the depth that feels good. If it feels available, bring that leg across into your figure 4 configuration or across the ankle or onto a yoga block. Once you've got yourself arranged, twist towards that knee. Get into a rotation. Take a breath. Unwind that rotation, take it to the other side. Use your foot for a little bit of leverage. Unwind that rotation, hip hinge, come forward just a little bit. So a little bit of a lean forward, just to the point where you feel a nice, interesting bit of sensation. And then as you lift up, grab the knee, grab the heel, lift your leg towards you, and then use your hands as a resist. And the leg is going to push down into the hands like you're trying to push that leg back down to the ground. Hold that tension and hold that resistance. Hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Slowly, gently, mindfully release. And we're going to bring the hands together with a little crisscross of the fingers. And we're just going to fire up the palms. So my fingers are slightly interlaced. So we stimulate those marma points on the insides of the fingers as well. Take 1 or 2 more rubs of the fingers. And then we're going to interlace the fingers, flip the palms, press them forward, glide the shoulders down. Pause here for a moment. Close your eyes if you can and just notice. Notice your hands, your fingers, your wrists and your arms. Notice your shoulders. Is your chest puffed forward? Can you pull the ribs back slightly so you feel like you're still in a nice, fairly neutral spine? There's not a lot happening through the back of your body. We're going to keep our hands just as they are and take it into a light tick-tock of the head side to side. Eyes closed or eyes open, totally up to you. One more tick-tock of the head side to side. And then as your head comes back to center, you're going to make some space with your elbows. Arms are going to come up and overhead. And then once you've got some space for your shoulders, press those palms back up towards the ceiling. And we're going to take little micro side bends. So you're going to tip from side to side. Just enough. It doesn't need to be extreme. We still want to feel solid in our seat. So we don't want to lose our equilibrium and we don't want to feel like we're going to tip over and spill off to the side. Take one more tip each side. And then left hand is going to reach down and touch the chair. Right hand is going to stay up. And then we're going to tip over just enough so that we feel that anchoring down again, down into the sits bones, up through the fingertips. Pull that top thumb back, gaze up towards the ceiling. Take a breath. Beautiful. And then we're going to lift it over to the other side. So right hand's going to touch down, left hand's going to reach up, tip over, anchor down into the sitting bone, reach up through the fingertips, pull that thumb back, gaze up towards the ceiling, notice your breath. Beautiful. Lift up nice and slow and controlled. Then we're going to take some rolls of the shoulders. So with a little bit of intention here, noticing the muscly action in between your shoulder blades, noticing the muscly action in your chest and your armpit chest. And then take a little bit more of a subtle awareness. Notice the movement of your fabric of your clothes. Notice the movement of your skin. Notice the subtle shift in your breath as you're working in that heart space, lungs, and rib cage. So you're moving these places. So you might notice just a little bit of sound change in your breath. And now if you're going in one particular direction, you're going to reverse and go the other way, but we're going to go the same principles here. So we're going to notice the muscle movement. Maybe notice the bones. Notice the armpit chest. Notice the collarbones. Notice the movement of the fabric of your clothes. Notice the movement of your skin. And then hopefully by now things are feeling a little bit of warmth and stimulation through the shoulders, through the heart space. And then once you've done maybe one or two more circles around, we're going to give ourselves a big open heart space. So open your arms, open your chest, lift your gaze. Left hand is going to come on top of the right. Give yourself a nice big gigantic hug and squeeze. Tuck the elbows down, tuck your chin towards your chest. Breathe into the back of your body. Take a nice big breath. Exhale nice and slow. On your next inhalation, open your arms out nice and wide. Open your chest, lift your chin. Right hand is going to come on top of the left. Give yourself that nice big hug and squeeze. Tuck the elbows down, tuck your chin to your chest. Breathe into the back of your body. Arms are going to extend up towards the sky, and then we're going to do a little dropsy with the arms. You're just going to let your arms drop. Make sure they stay safe. Lift your arms up, let your arms drop. Lift your arms up, let your arms drop. Lift your arms up, let your arms drop. Go for 3 more if you can. And then once you've done that last one, we're going to take our hands right to our heart space and do a good pat, pat, pat around the heart. So open palms. You may hear a little smack of my hand against the microphone, so I'll be as mindful as I can, but really get it. Like go George of the jungle. Just get your heart thumping, get your lungs vibrating. Notice that vibration in your lungs. Take 3 cycles of breath and just really, really make that noise through your heart space. Stimulate it as much as feels good. Once you've stimulated the heart space just as much as feels good, let it all come to stillness. Let your hands float down. Notice you might feel a sense of warmth and tingliness or energizingness through the fingers, your arms, your heart space, your shoulders. And then once you've just noticed that just enough, start to walk your butt back in your seat. Walk back, find the back of your chair, lean back into it, and then just let everything settle here. Let your feet get cozy. Let your knees get cozy. Let your thighs get cozy. Soften your butt muscles. Soften into your seat. Let your back relax and rest against the back of the chair. Invite a sense of softness into your abdominal muscles, into your chest, and into the sides of your neck. And then as we find this stillness here and we let our mind and our body come together and incorporate all the work that you've done, all you have to do is breathe. So nice gentle inhalation through the nose, a nice natural exhalation through the nose. You always have the option to stay in your Shavasana just as long as you like. But if you feel ready to do so, or if your morning requires it, start to gently reawaken your fingers and your toes. Just sticking with the fingers and toes to start. Give a little bit of time, wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes. And then as you wiggle your fingers and your toes, you may notice a slightly deeper breath come back into your body. If and when you feel that slightly deeper breath, or when you feel ready, start to move your wrists and move your ankles, twinkling the fingers, wiggling the toes, moving the wrists, moving the ankles. And then maybe as you move your wrists and your ankles, you may again notice a slightly deeper breath come back into your body. And if and when you feel that slightly deeper breath come back into your body, maybe you take it into a more good morning stretch. So I'm just going to lean back, sliding my butt forward, stretching my legs out, stretching my arms up and overhead, and then just find that good long reach stretch, like you're just waking up first thing in the morning. Reach through your fingers, reach through your toes. And then as you release, float your feet in, fold yourself down towards the ground. We're going to come up with a forward fold. So forward fold is not for you, or a little bit mid-range. You may find that you pivot to your chair and use a handhold there. But if it feels all right to do so, float your hands down to the ground. And then once you've got your way there, we're going to keep our fingertips connected to the floor. Start to lift your butt up away from your seat into that soft folded position, maybe noticing a little bit of a tender stretch in the backs of the legs, keeping the knees soft so they're not, we're zinging ourselves up into our butt. We're just feeling maybe a sense of stretched low back, or maybe the backs of the hamstrings. And once you've found that stretching sensation, pause for a moment, take a breath. And then we're going to come up nice and slow. So bend your knees, pull your abdominal muscles in one vertebrae at a time, start to roll your way all the way up to standing. And then as you come up to standing, just a couple of good shrugs of the shoulders, gently moving into that space. And then pause here for a moment. Let your hands come down at your sides. We do that little reset here at the end of our practice today. So feel your feet connected to the ground. Feel that little bit of energy down into your fingers, down into your palms. A clear sense of opening through the heart space and through the back of your body. Take a big inhalation, fill your rib cage up. Exhale nice and slow. And then when you feel ready, gently lift up to the top of your head, gently open your eyes. I bow to you. Happy Wednesday. You guys are amazing.